Once upon a time, in a far and distant land, an old wizard lived in his ancient and magical tower together with his 6 apprentices. One day, whilst he was brewing up a potent potion, the wizard was called away to a conclave by his fellow wizards. He didn't feel good about leaving the unfinished brew in the care of his apprentices, but he had no choice. His fellow wizard's calling was of the utmost importance. Each of his apprentices was specialized in a different aspect of magic, and thus their characters too were quite different. This wasn't the first time the old master had left his apprentices alone, but never before had it been in the middle of such an important experiment. So it should be to no one's surprise that an argument arose quickly, since the 6 apprentices couldn't agree who was in charge of the great experiment. Such was their quarrel that they became careless and toppled over the magical cauldron with its mercurial brew. Far too soon, and definitely not as intended, the magical concoction unleashed its power as the potion exploded and splattered its contents everywhere in the laboratory, bringing its magic to the careless apprentices. Gobsmacked and in wonder, the apprentices found themselves transformed by the polymorphic potion into little frogs. Even as their animalistic froggy minds battled their human apprentice minds for dominance, each of them could easily imagine how angry the old wizard would be about their failure. And, to make a bad situation worse, the magical tower no longer recognized them as human apprentices anymore, but as vermin to be cleansed. There was just one solution. The magic had to be undone, and everything had to be cleansed before their master returned. The laboratory held almost all of the components to mix up a counterspell for their curse, with only one thing missing: a maiden's kiss. It was known to all that Lisa, the goose maid, herded her flock in front of the tower. The little froggy apprentices also knew all too well that she would never be convinced to kiss more than one pair of slimy, froggy lips. So, the race has begun. Who will be the first to overcome all of the magical tower's defense mechanisms and best their fellow frogs to avoid the anger of the old wizard? Will the animalistic instincts of the frogs or the magical minds of the apprentices bring you to success?